Like I said, this one's going to be a lot easier than the last one. We're doing surface area of pyramids and cones. One thing that we're going to do just to make this easier, every pyramid that we're going to do, and that's just in this lesson, it doesn't have to be this way. It's just the way we're going to teach it to you to make it a little bit easier because you guys are a little bit younger than like a high school level class. That all the pyramids will have square bases. So that's going to make things a whole bunch easier. Actually, I should have done this first. Pyramids and cones, how many bases are they going to have now? One. So we're doing the surface area of something that only has one base. We are again going to draw the net. These nets, you're going to be able to do on your own. I'm not going to have to like draw them for you. They're a whole bunch easier. All right, so let me explain what we're doing and how we do all this stuff. So we're going to draw a square. Like I said, they're all going to have square bases. And we'll have the two sides, we'll go with, I don't know, 8 inches and 8 inches. And then we're going to have a dot, and then we'll draw the lines. You're not going to have to draw these in your homework. You don't need to draw this. You are going to draw the net, though. This is what's going to be in your book. And then what they're going to have is a line going on the outside of the pyramid like this. And then they'll have the little box. This is what's called the slant height. The slant height is on the outside of the pyramid. So if you like think of those like, you know, pyramids in Egypt or in like Central America or whatever, and you could like imagine having steps that you could like walk up the side of the pyramid, right? That's what the slant height is. So it's not the height like going in the middle of it. It's not like that. It's not like an elevator going up the middle. It'd be like if you could scale on the outside. That's called the slant height. They always use the cursive letter L for slant height. If I was a better teacher, I'd know why they use cursive L. I'm not sure why they do that. But the cursive L always stands for slant height. And let's say this slant height here is 10 inches. The way that you're going to draw the net, and again, you are going to have to draw the net for all of these problems. It's pretty easy. What you're going to imagine is this. Imagine that we're like hovering over, like you're in a helicopter on top of the pyramid. And then we could take the 4 triangles of the pyramid and picture that you could like peel them almost like the petals of a flower. And so what it would look like is this. You would have a square. And then you would have 4 triangles like this. Now, the thing is, because this bottom part is always going to be a square, all 4 triangles will always be congruent. You don't need to find the area of the 4 different triangles. So we can make a note about that. All 4 triangles are congruent. So if we find the area of one triangle, we can find the area of all 4 triangles. That slant height would be like this line here. That would be the slant height. Because again, you're imagining that you're like peeling the sides. It doesn't make sense. You can't obviously do this, but imagine that you're like peeling the sides of the pyramid off. So that part that would be on the outside of the pyramid would be like laying down, and it's this part of the triangle. If you think about that, you guys, I've never been there, but have you guys ever seen that pictures of that casino in Vegas? It's called the Luxor. It's a pyramid casino. It's a casino in the shape of a pyramid. Anyway, this would be like the glass on the outside, right? The slant height. It wouldn't be like in the middle of it. It'd be like the outside or the walls of the pyramid. All right, now all we got to go through is find the shape, the area of each shape. Well, the middle one is a square. How do you find the area of a square? Base times height. Well, since it's a square, it's 8 times 8. What's 8 times 8? 64. All right, so we got that one. Now we got to find the area of one of the triangles, and then we just got to know that there's 4 of these triangles. So if the bases are 8 and 10, or the base and the height 8 and 10, what's the area of the triangle? Yeah, 40. So to find the surface area, we would add 64 and then 4 40s. Hey, in a calculator, what's an easier way instead of doing 40 plus 40 plus 40 plus 40 plus 40?
40.
Not squared. No, come on. If you have 4, let's go. Times 4. There's 4 of them. It's 44 times 40 times 4. There's 4 of them. And then we would add the 64. If that's confusing you, don't worry about it. Just do 40 plus 40 plus 40 plus 40 plus 64. You'll get the same answer. Surface area is, I just forgot what that was, 224 inches squared. See, this is a whole lot easier than the prisms and the cylinders. Let me have you guys try another one, and then we'll talk about the cones. I want you guys to do this one on your own. So this was number 1. You guys do number 2 here on your own. Again, you have to draw the net. So you're going to draw this one right now just because we don't have your book. You will not need to draw the 3D figure. You don't need to do that. When you're doing your homework, you're going to do this only just in your notes. And then we'll have the slant height like this. The slant height is going to be 8 inches. And that's for the slant height. You draw the net, find the surface area. Go for it. Yeah. Yes. I'll have that. Try to keep it all in there. Yeah, it's that thing is the net. So we have that middle rectangle. What's the area of that middle rectangle? 49 inches squared. Yeah? And what's the area of one of the triangles? Yeah, because it's half of 56, 28. So the surface area is 49 plus. Now, I could write 28, 28, 28, 28. I'm just going to write 4 28s. Right? 4 times 28 because there's 4 of them. 4 times 28 is that, plus the middle one, 49. There you go, 161. Much, much, much easier than the last one. Everybody good with that? I don't think we need to do more examples. Now we need to do the surface area of a cone. Oh, one other thing I forgot to tell you. The triangles, these are the lateral area. So if they just ask you to find the lateral area, it would just be this, right? This bottom part is the base area. So again, in this one, they could ask you just find the lateral area. That would only be the 4 times 28. This is the base area. If they say the surface area, then you add the 49 in with it. So they might ask you like only find lateral area, or they could say find surface area. All right, now we're going to do a cone. With a cone, you're going to just need to know a formula. you can't, the net for this is more confusing than it's worth. The way you draw a cone is a circle, and it's not really great. Just kind of do that. And then I'll give you the diameter here. And the diameter, we'll go with 10 meters squared. We'll round to the nearest tenth. What's it going to ask you? Oh, no, round to the nearest whole. Now, think about this. We had the base area, right? What's the base area? We're going to use a formula here. What's the base area of this circle? What formula should we use? What's that? Yeah, it's a circle. Pi times the radius squared. That is for the circle. Then the lateral area, it just has this formula, and I could explain it to you, but it's not really worth all of the full explanation. It's 1/2. Now, be careful how we write this here. It's 1/2 the base. No, I wrote that wrong. It's 2. Sorry. Oh, I just forgot it. What is it? No, it's not even 2. It's pi times the radius times the slant height. I just put the wrong formula in my head. Again, where this comes from, it's a little long. I can explain it to you, but you guys are barely listening to me anyway. So where it comes from, that's just one you're going to need to know. So like I would highlight that and know it and know that you're going to need to study it. So like this one, it's easier. Like you could figure it out without studying. This is a formula you're going to need to study. So like when we get to the quiz or the test and you're going to say, well, how do I do this? I'm going to ask, like, what's the formula for a cone? And if you don't know it, there's no way you'll get it right. So for this one, we would just do pi times 5 squared plus pi. Oh, I forgot to give you the slant height. Let's say the slant height here is 12 meters. Oops. Pi times 5 times 12. And we're going to do the same thing where we keep the pi till the very end. So this would be 25 pi plus 5 times 12, 50, 60 pi. Then we'll add the pi's together and get 85 pi. And then we'll multiply it by pi. 85 times, again, if you have the pi button, that's great. If not, just use 3.14. It'll be about the same. 267 meters squared. So again, these ones, the pyramids, they're kind of like easier to figure out. Like I get that you don't need to like go home and study. How do I find that? Like you can figure that out. You just find the area of all of them and put them together. Not that hard. That's one that you need to know. Again, I don't think it's going to take you long to study it, but you have to study it to know that one.